In a world where artificial intelligence is not just a buzzword, but a booming reality, the future of making money online is being rewritten. Experts predict that by 2024, the AI market is projected to reach an astounding $305 billion, skyrocketing to over $700 billion in 2030. Innovators like OpenAI are not just part of this change, they're leading it, with revenue growth surging over 500% in just 1 year. From business ventures to software, AI is the new frontier. But how do you make sure you don't get left behind? Well, first, I want you to imagine a time when mobile apps were just emerging. A novel concept with untapped potential. Yet today, they are an integral part of our daily lives. The global app market, valued at over $208 billion in 2022 alone, is projected to skyrocket to over $777 billion by 2023. This exponential growth mirrors the transformation we are witnessing in the realm of AI. Just as apps revolutionize the way we use our phones, AI tools like those of ChatGPT, the new GPT Store, OpenAI, and countless other AI apps are set to redefine how we interact with technology in our personal and professional lives. As Bill Gates once wisely said, the future lies in software, not hardware. This rings true today more than ever. The future of making money online is not just about adopting AI, but mastering it, creating, utilizing, and innovating with the tools that are shaping this new digital era. In this training, we dive deep into how you can be at the forefront of this revolution. Learn how to leverage AI tools, the new OpenAI Store, and plugins, not just to keep pace, but to lead and innovate. This is your chance to be part of the next big wave. So the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit back and watch this happen? Or are you going to gain the necessary information to start making tons of money? Don't get left behind. Watch this entire training and unlock the secrets to harnessing the power of AI for unprecedented growth and success. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today we are going through something huge. We are going to be taking a look at the OpenAI Store and what this means in terms of making money online. This is super important because this is a trend that I've seen happen multiple times. We saw it happen in the beginning with apps and software and different things like that. And back when I was first learning internet marketing and web marketing, I came across a quote by Bill Gates that we mentioned earlier, where IBM and all the computer companies thought that all the money was in hardware, the actual physical machines. Bill Gates said, well, I don't think so. I think the money is actually in software. Turns out, old Bill Gates was correct. Now what we're seeing is the same kind of thing happening here. A lot of people that think that the money is going to be in the infrastructure and different things like that, rather than the tools and things people are going to use on a daily basis. So what I would like to talk about today is how we can create tools in our market to make tons of money utilizing things like the GPT Store. Now, you have seen news everywhere about the GPT Store and all kinds of things like that, and I found something very interesting. What I found is that if you were to look up GPT Store, above the news results and even CNET and anything like that is actually a result from the GPT Store. Right? If you look up GPT Store, right, like this, which right now is getting a lot of searches, you will see that this is someone's custom ChatGPT AI script, right? So very, very important. Now, it looks like they might have changed it since then, but it is in fact ranking. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the huge growth that is happening online with ChatGPT, the OpenAI Store, and lots of things that are going on. Now, we can see here that this started growing right around October of last year when they started announcing custom GPTs. Now, for those of you that are new, a custom GPT is where you can actually go into ChatGPT, go down to the bottom right like this, and you can click on My GPTs, and you can actually create a custom GPT. You just click here, click Create a Custom GPT, and you can create your own custom AI based on instructions that you give the tool. This is super important. This is groundbreaking, and this is something that's going to be insanely huge. First, what I want to do is I want to go through and prove to you the concept of why this is so big and why everyone needs to be utilizing this on a day-to-day basis, no matter what business you're in. If you're an affiliate marketer, if you're someone out there just looking to make money online, whatever it is, this is for you. Because when we look at the trends here, a lot of people know a guy named Noah Kagan here on YouTube. He does lots of videos about business growth. Now, the business that he runs is called AppSumo, and I believe at last it was like an $80 million a year business or something. I might be wrong about that. The last actual data I found said that it's like a $37 million a year business. There's lots of other different businesses like this as well that sell different apps and tools for different platforms. Case in point, we all know there's apps for phones. We all know that there's apps for computers, for all kinds of things. WordPress has plugins. Different things like this. Now, what we're seeing is the idea of software as a service getting very, very popular. It's something that I think came around as a big, trendy buzzword back in like 2006 or something like that, and has grown since then. Now, when we're looking at this, we hear software as a service, we hear software, we hear AI, we hear apps, and all these things. And how many of you guys, if you're honest, you're like, this sounds a little bit above my pay grade? I don't know how to make an app. I don't know how to make this stuff. Also, if you can comment on the audio quality, let me know. I was trying to get it nice and loud for you guys, but I don't know if it's peaking. Let me know if it sounds good. Right, so how many of you guys realize, hey, you know what? Maybe this sounds like it's above my pay grade. Maybe this sounds a little bit too difficult. Do I need to be a programmer? Do I have to hire programmers? Do I have to understand software? And the answer is no, 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 and emphatic no. You do not need any of those things with ChatGPT and the ChatGPT Store. This is something that's very easy. Anyone can do this. If you're out there and you just stumbled off the road and you want to make money, this is the video to watch. I promise you, by the time you're done with this, you will understand how to use the ChatGPT Store to make lots of money, whether you're selling these tools or giving them away. And hint, you do not need to wait for the store to be live. Let me say that again. You do not need to wait for the ChatGPT OpenAI Store to be live. You could use this right now, and I am going to prove it to you. Get ready, because this is going to be awesome. So back to AppSumo, huge business, almost 1 million subscribers, crazy business. We see the Apple Store. The Apple Store has consumers spending like $86 billion, which is insane. Like, if you would have told me 50 years ago, well, first of all, you would have had to, figure out how to tell someone who's negative, stuff like that. But if you would have told me, let's say 30 years ago, that we are going to spend $86 billion for apps on our phone that may or may not actually be tangible, people would have thought you were crazy. They would have thought you were a loon. They would have put you away. And so now we're looking at this and we're like, hey, wait a minute. The App Store is making $86 billion. Back 20 years ago, if you said, hey, you know what? CDs are going to be replaced with Apple Music, people would have thought you were crazy. If they said, hey, get rid of your DVD and VHS collection, they would have thought you were crazy. However, we are now seeing $86 billion spent in 2022 on the App Store. Not only that, 8.3 billion spent on music alone. On a phone, it's something people don't actually tangibly own. And if you're like me, this is a little hard to adopt. You're like, hey, I want the physical CD. Like when I buy Microsoft Office, I like to have the actual box and feel like I actually got something for my $500 rather than a download. But times, they are a-changin'. And when we look at this, we could see that the WordPress marketplace, WordPress powers a lot of the web. I think it's the most popular web software out there, or definitely one of them. And when we look at WordPress, it says the global economy for WordPress was $596 billion in 2022, 600 billion, and it's expected to be like 1.3 billion, which is, or wait, let's see, another source says, I think those were million, and it's supposed to be 1.3 billion. And that is just the stats of people selling tools on WordPress, plugins, tools, different things like that. And I sell plugins all the time, so I know this industry. It is huge. And again, there's a little typo there. There's supposed to be a million. Now, another one, Code Canyon. Code Canyon is huge. They sell different tools. The Google Play Store, you can see billions and billions of dollars, and on we go, right? So we see all these different things, all these different statistics of what is actually working, and we know, hey, there's money in this. There is tons of money in this. Now, when we take this to something like the ChatGPT OpenAI Store, one, they've leveled the playing field. It is new. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? What that means is it's new. First adopters usually win. If you're a first adopter, there's a high likelihood that you can have a lot more success than if you were a late adopter. And like We Are Jolt says, AI Canyon has really good WordPress plugins. Yes, I bought stuff on Code Canyon. In fact, our domain script where we sell domains was bought there. But now we're seeing, okay, if I can be an early adopter here and start to understand how to use this in a real world way, well then, I can make lots of money. Now, the cool thing about this is creating an app on the Apple Store is difficult, okay? Even for me, I've been doing this a long time, it's difficult. I'm not a programmer, I don't understand this stuff. Creating a WordPress plugin, again, I have to have programmers do it. I don't know how to do it, it's difficult, it costs money. Creating a tool on the ChatGPT Store is not only absurdly simple, I'm talking laughably simple, but it is free if you have an account. All right, a lot of people in my last video, they were like, Marcus, you forgot to tell us you need a $20 account. I thought that was a given, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, you need 20 bucks a month to be able to do this. So if that's gonna put you out of the league, you might wanna find something else to do or a way to make up the money to do it, because I think this is $20 well invested. So now when we look at this, we are gonna go into our ChatGPT and we are gonna create a custom plugin. We'll go in like this, okay? We're gonna go to My GPTs, and then at the top we can click Create a GPT. Very simple. Now, what this is doing is programming a set of tools for an AI tool that you can use and share with other people. This is key. Again, it's not just about selling the tool, it's about building something around the ecosystem. WordPress, more or less, has free tools, yet it's very profitable. Okay, lots of other things have free tools, but they are very profitable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to understand this. And I want to take a sidetrack for a minute and talk about what is the benefit of AI and ChatGPT. Okay, what is the benefit? I want everyone, let's put our thinking caps on, smash the like button, and I want you to type in the box, what is the main benefit here? All right, if I was gonna sell ChatGPT, if my job was to go door to door and sell people on a $20 ChatGPT subscription, what would be the benefit? What would I lead with? How would I sell this, okay? What's it gonna do? Is it gonna, do my dishes for me? Is it gonna help me watch TV? What is this thing going to do? And let's see what answers we have here. Some people says, where do I sell it? Okay, I'll show you that in a minute. But type it in, let me know. Someone says efficiency. All right, William, thank you for that. Let's get a lot more answers and see what's going on here. And let's turn our motion camera off here. I think it's following me around. All right, we got simplicity, time saving. All right, excellent. Save time and increase productivity. How's our audio? Audio still good? Solve a problem, automation. All right, what else? Revolutionary. What else we got? Okay, excellent. If you said save time, you're the winner. So let me make this very clear. ChatGPT, which skyrocketed and is estimated to be worth gazillions of dollars. Their business proposition is save time. That's more or less what this does. You want to write an article? Save time. You want to write code? Save time. You want to calculate how much meat you should eat to get muscly? It's going to save you time, right? So the proposition here is save time. So wouldn't it be safe to say that if you could help people save even more time, you could get in on a piece of the pie? And you don't even need that big of a piece of a pie. We just need a little sliver, and that could be enough money for like your kids' kids, right? That's a lot of money there. So we start to understand, hey, wait a minute. So if I could help people save time, then I could make money, right? Type that in the box. Save time equals make money, okay? I want to know everyone's following along. I want you to pay close attention because this is super important. Now, what we want to look at is what kind of things the ChatGPT store, or where the store is going to be, actually ranks for. So we have AI text generator, essay writer, okay? And a lot of these you could probably go through and see what they actually rank for. Okay, so if we do essay writer, we could see here ChatGPT. Okay, now pay attention. This is a GPT that is free, that this person created for free, and they are ranking on a keyword that is getting 135,000 searches a month on that one phrase alone. So if you were able to make something that would help someone looking to write an essay save time, and you gave this away and linked them to ads and other things, do you not think you could make money? Right? Type essay writer equals money if you're following along. Smash the like button if you're following along. This is super important, okay? Let's take a look at a few others. We also have calculator, ChatGPT detector, game, all kinds of different things here, okay? So what we would do is we would have to sit down and say to ourselves, okay, self, what would ChatGPT help people with that people that don't know about ChatGPT would be benefiting from, right? If you didn't know how to use ChatGPT, which, let's face it, most of the planet does not. Most people don't know how to do this, right? Most people don't understand this. ChatGPT resume, translate English to Spanish. We have math solver, image generator, all kinds of stuff like that, some kind of team builder, all kinds of stuff, right? So let's say we wanted to go through and we wanted to look at a keyword, say something like email follow-up, okay? And let's say I wanted to do email follow-up or something like that, okay? We got global volume of 34,000 searches a month, follow-up after email interview. Okay, great. Good. So follow-up email after interview. Okay, how many of you guys are ready to take this and say, okay, here we go. Follow-up email after interview. If I could create something in the GPT store to make something that would do follow-up email after interview, okay? Let's see, our copy and paste wants to be funny today. Where'd we go? Copy. There we go. We use the old-fashioned right click, right? All right, so we're going to go through, and we got Indeed, NerdWallet, the Muse. Okay, so would it be safe to say that if I was able to create a follow-up email after interview tool in ChatGPT, use ChatGPT to rank it, use ChatGPT to make it, then I'd have something that all these people would want, and I could link to something over on ClickBank for like interview, right? Job interview, how to ace the job interview, $20, right? So this pays me $20 when they sell it, $16, and on we go, right? So now all I would need to do is go to the old ChatGPT and say, we are going to create a follow-up email after interview GPT creator, Okay? We're going to talk about how to make money with this in a minute. Trust me, it's going to blow your mind. If you want to make money online, you need to watch this training a lot of times because there's some things in here that you need to follow along with. So we are going to create a follow-up email after interview GPT creator so people can make a custom follow-up email to help them get a job. Okay? So it's going to go through and it'll actually make it for me, which is really cool. Now, we can also do this for businesses. Let's say you want to go through and say, hey, tell me the top holidays of the year, and then create emails that would do sales for the top holidays, or maybe create a sales letter based on different things. And I remember years ago, this is a blast from the past if you guys know him. Great guy. Years ago, I was hanging out with Marlon Sanders, who I followed in marketing before I actually met him back in I followed him since like 1999, and he had this thing called the push button sales letter. And this was a software that he created, which was very, very, very simple. And we went through and we're like, okay, this is good. This is working. And he made lots of money with it. I think he made like $75,000 with that software. And back then that was like a bazillion. Okay, and what we're doing is we're actually going to be able to create something like that where he had to have programmers, he had to know sales letters, he had to know all this stuff. Now we can use ChatGPT to get the info for us. So we'll go through and we'll say something like, for this GPT, how about we name it Interview Follow-Up Assistant? Yep, that works. Okay, now one of the keys that I like to do is go through, Eric bought it. Yeah, man, you've been around a while then, if you remember that. Great guy, very nice guy. So yep, that works, right, like this. It's going to go ahead and title it, so you'll see it change over here. It'll actually make a little image, right? It'll create a little image that we can use. And now what we're doing is we're like, okay, now I'm able to tackle a market with free traffic. How many of you guys see the power of this? Smash a like button if you're seeing the power and you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Very, very, very simple. Okay, let's see. We'll get rid of this guy because he's trying to sell stuff in chat. Okay, so we're going through and we're like, okay, this is how it works. This is good. We now have email after interview, and we can see the size of the market here. Okay, we got the size of the market, 7,500. Thank you, email after interview. Great. So now we're getting a lay of the land of how this works. Matt says you're shortcutting search because of ChatGPT's domain strength and because it fits, right? An email generator fits something, you know, like, okay, now you have this interview email generator, bada bing, bada boom. And we look at it, we're like, okay, this is looking really good. Let's make it work. Mike says, would this work to drive traffic to a new domain? Big time. Big time. That's what we're talking about here, and I'm going to show you how in just a minute. You don't need an expired domain or auction domain or anything fancy. You could just go get a $9 domain, or you could lead them to an affiliate link, just regular if you want to. Don't recommend it, but you can do it. Imagine the difference between like if AppSumo didn't have their domain name and they just relied on like PayPal links. It's not going to be as good as something else, okay? So now we see we have this huge market. What we need to do is think about it. So now it's got a nice little picture. I mean, it makes your logo. It does everything. This is great. Now, let's talk about how this would work. Can you find me the top tips online about writing follow-up emails, how often and how soon to write them, and build these into the tool, right? Very simple. So it's going to go through and make it work. Wise One says, can you use on teaching business owners GMB? What do you mean GMB? I mean, that could mean a lot of things. But yeah, you could use this for business owners. You could use it for anything. This is leveling the playing field. And if you don't understand this, you are going to look back at 2024 and say, well, I missed it again. AI came and went and I didn't make any money. This is your chance. This is how to do it. It's very, very simple. Okay, so now we're going to go through and we say, okay, this is how it works. Now, Dastmeyer says, how do I allow visitors on my website to use my custom GPT? Very simple. Save anyone with a link. It's going to give you the link. It gives you the link. It's so so simple, right? Google My Business. Okay, cool. So yeah, you could use it to help them with Google My Business, different stuff and things like that. Okay? Very, very simple, very easy. Now, when we look at this, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at it. Okay? So, would you like to use ChatGPT in the playground, see how it works? No, that's okay. Let's do like this. We can do a new ChatGPT, right, like this. Okay? And what we're going to do is log in. Okay? And we're going to go through and we'll do ChatGPT. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it some data to feed it. When you look at AI, even with the popularity of prompting, 99% of the people out there don't know how to use it correctly. We're going to use these custom GPTs to do that. Very simple. Can people use the custom GPT without an account? I'm not sure on that, actually. We'd have to look into that. But either way, I mean, there's like 100 million accounts, so I think you'll be okay. All right, so what I'll do is I'll say, please find me some tips and strategies for creating follow-up emails after an interview. How often, what to say, how to not be pushy, etc. Okay? So we'll give it this data, and we're going to create the data here in regular ChatGPT. We're going to pull it over into the other one. Okay? So we're going to pull this over into our custom GPT, and we're going to make it in a very simple way. And then, of course, when you go to configure, you are able to change these. So I could do, something like generate a follow-up email for a day after my interview. Prompt for custom info before creating, or something like that, right? And what it'll do is it'll prompt it and say, okay, what are your name, whatever, stuff like that, right? And we can go through. So our instructions, we can say, after the user clicks the button, please prompt for specific info on the job and how the interview went, and maybe the interviewer's name, right? See how easy this is? And I don't know. I haven't been on a job interview in many years, right? So now we can go through, and we're going to take this. Okay? So we'll do like this. Here are some factors to help. Okay, or here's some data to help, something like that. Okay, so now we'll do save, and then everyone or anyone, if you do everyone, it'll go in the store. If you do anyone with a link, it'll just be a link. Okay, so we'll go like this, and then we could hit edit. Now we could actually go through, and you could do your website domain, right? Boom, there you go, super simple. Now you do have to verify your name, but very easy. Now, once we go through, this will actually create it, and we could say, generate a follow-up email, and it should ask us some questions and different things like that. Dastmeyer says, are all the custom GPTs going to be on the OpenAI domain? Yes, for now. It might change. But now, see, check this out. Like, how many of you guys are like, dude, this is cool? So this is what it's going to look like for the user. To create a personalized and effective follow-up email, I'll need some more information. Who interviewed me? 1, Ted, Bob, right? 2, the job position, CEO of Celery Management. Okay? 3, specific topics, mutual interest. We both liked safaris. Okay? 4, little nervous, but enjoyed it. Okay, 5, particular aspect of the job that you found, the openness for my ideas. Okay, so now it's going to go through, and we go right like this. Okay, Yes, to verify a custom domain, it'll give you instructions in there. Okay, so now we have this. Thanks for the opportunity. Your name, dear Mr. Bob, blah, 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 blah. It's going to create the email right there. Boom. How many of you guys are like, dude, if I was looking for a job, this would be helpful, right? Type it in the box, smash the like button if you see the value of this. Then we could say something like, okay, now please create one for 3 days after, okay? Then they'll go through and they'll create one for 3 days after, which is really cool. So now what we're doing is we are creating something that people don't have to think. And I don't know if you're on the same planet I'm on, but a lot of people don't like to think. They would rather watch Netflix and, you know, chill and hang out and whatever, which is fine. I find that entertaining as well. But when we look at this, we can circumvent that and we can help people with not having to go through and do the legwork in their brain. So now we're going to go through, right? And we're going to say, okay, now we're going to go through and build something of value. So now you know, okay, what do? First, we find our market. Okay, you can find your market and then find things to offer the market. Let's say you wanted to do something like a jogging workout plan or something like that. So you could do workout, right? And you could do like a workout plan. Okay, you go through here, you find one that's selling well or whatever. Okay, or you could go over to top offers. You can find business investing or computer or cooking, right? Very simple, or even e-business. You say, okay, live chat jobs or whatever it is. And you start to look at this and say, okay, there's lots of things we can do that'll work. Maybe you could go through and you can make a tool that is going to take their skills and show them online jobs based on what they pay. Very simple. We need to think outside the box. It's very, very, very easy. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to go through and we are going to create our tool. We hit save. We're going to do everyone. Bada bing, bada boom, there we go. Okay, very easy. Now, we can link to that from our website. We can do all kinds of things. When we go through and do this, I think, did I save my notes here? There we go. What we're going to do is several different things, okay? There's a lot of things that we can do when it comes to making money with our tool, okay? So first of all, create it. There we go. Next, what we're going to do, okay, we are going to go through and we are going to figure out how we're going to do this, okay? How are we going to make money? How is this going to work for us? So what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll say, what is the marketing plan? Now, what I've done for you is some very basic things listed from difficulty to, you know, very difficult, from easy to very difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, number one, if you are just looking for a way to utilize this and make some money as an affiliate and you don't really want to go through and do the legwork, what you can do is use free tools, right, like this, to help these people. Okay, so we're going to go through and we're going to say use free tools and lists to get engagement. So what I can do is I could actually go through, do the research, find the custom GPTs that would help certain groups of people, right? I go out there, I can go on social media, I can make videos, I can do all kinds of things to help people. Hey, here's some custom GPTs for your market. Someone had mentioned church management and church growth. Okay, great. You would go through and find tools that are based on church management and church growth. We are going to make the custom GPTs that would help those people. If you're in the workout niche, you find custom GPTs that will help them. What you can do is start sharing these. Okay, you share the tools. You're like, hey, there you go. Just like here, people like to share tools and talk about things they're using. We're going to share these tools and we're going to point to things that make us money. Maybe there's a church growth software. Maybe there's a website that they can get. All kinds of different things that they can use. So our job in this easy, low-hanging fruit market would be to go through and say, okay, I'll just find free tools for people. I could literally go to business groups on Facebook and I can share my findings. Now, the key here is to genuinely care about your market. A lot of people go to Facebook groups and they, oh, hey, you get my new thing, you're going to get more business. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is say, hey guys, I know you're trying to market your restaurants. I found these 10 chat GPT tools that are free that will help you. right? You can give them away in a PDF and you can have your link on the bottom. You can give away the links and then have your link as one of them. Very, very simple, okay? Number two, what we can do is we could drive traffic to affiliate offers with our tool. So this is a little bit more difficult, okay? You're gonna actually have to create the GPT. Okay, just like we did there, we create the GPT. It's very easy. There's a couple of steps you do, and then the thing's live. We created one yesterday, and it was very simple. Same exact thing, okay? So what we can do is say, okay, like Marcus said here, maybe I'm going to create a job email GPT, okay? We create that, bada bing, bada boom, there we go. We can link to our ClickBank, or if you wanna do even better, you could do number 3, which is going to be use your GPT to build mailing list, okay? You can build your mailing list and say, hey, I hope you enjoyed the job email GPT. Go over here to get instructions on how to use it, plus my 10 tips on how to get the job you want. You're gonna market other things. You can market Monster and LinkedIn and all kinds of things out there that are gonna help people get jobs. You could even tell them the highest paying jobs or whatever. You could turn this into an entire blog around getting jobs, right? Very simple. And this is a very profitable market, very easy. You could even sell resume stuff. A lot of people have trouble with writing resumes, and you can make a GPT for that, also linked to your mailing list and everything like that. Very, very simple, okay? What we're doing is we are using something, and I know that here on the YouTubes, there's a lot of marketing gurus shouting a lot of things at you. And a lot of them say this magic word, which is provide value. But they never tell you what that is. They just say provide value. And you're like, what does that mean? You know, I went to the store the other day and I got a good value on a steak. Am I gonna sell them some steak? And what am I gonna do? And so people are struggling to provide value. And what this is doing is it's not only circumventing the value proposition, because now you have a tool. Free software will outpull a free PDF. Free tools, free chat GPTs, they're new, they're exciting, and this can build your mailing list extremely fast. And when you start to understand this, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I think I stumbled on a gold mine, because now we can utilize this to get traffic, and it has built-in value. Very, very cool. Next thing we can do is create our own simple tools around a business. Okay, again, this is one of the more difficult methods. It takes a little bit of work, but hey, it's not that much work. And if you need help, you can get help out there as well. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our niche, okay? Maybe you are in the accounting niche, okay? And you're like, okay, I need to get this spreadsheet of sales and I need to separate these things. Years ago, I'll give you a case study. Years ago, I was using an outdated version of some accounting software, and my accountant needed an updated version. And I was like, wait a minute, how am I gonna convert this over? These files are completely different. Am I gonna have to go through manually and enter everything in like it's the 1800s? Or what am I gonna do? Well, what I decided to do is find a software that was a QIF to something else converter. Okay, I paid like $199 for this software, and I was glad to get it. It was totally worth it for me. All right, now with ChatGPT, of course, watch out for sensitive data and things like that. But what you can do is you can have different things that will help with this. We do this all the time, where maybe you'll take a keyword list and you want to strip out the keywords and create titles, right? Keywords to titles. Strip out all other data. Or we've done this to do URL slugs, where you have a URL and it'll strip it out. Now, again, when I do this, there's a whole process I need to go through to make this happen on ChatGPT. My custom GPT can do that like that. Okay, and so what we would do is we would go through and we would find our niche and say, okay, maybe I'm in the niche of AI content creation. Okay, I can make an AI detector. I can make a plagiarism tool. I can make a tool that helps it sound more human. I can do this, this, and this. And case in point, just to show you how this works, I actually did this the other day, where we created a tool that helped people bypass the AI detectors. And it was here. Let's go to custom GPTs. AI content stealth. So this one here, again, it's got my URL here, which is good because that's like, oh, hey, this guy provides free tools. They'll go there and they'll look at this. So it's very, very cool. And so we're going to go through and we're going to say, what are we going to do? Okay, this is designed for AI content. So when we look at AI content, let's go OpenAI, right, like this. Okay, and we'll log in. Okay, and we'll go like this. We Are Jolt says that the app I made is not good enough. We need to bulk it up. We need to feed it. You need an API server. You need to do all this. Guess what? This app will make me money without all that stuff. I don't need all that stuff. Now, it's good. Is it good to have a software? Like, do you need to create the next Microsoft Windows or whatever? No. We just need to create something that's going to get people in. If you go out there, and I'll tell you something I learned years ago, a good quote. Perfection is the enemy of excellence. Perfection is the enemy of excellence. A lot of people are going to say, hey, we need to have stuff that is perfect. We need to have this stuff, right? We Are Jolt says little money. Well, my little tools that you would probably laugh at. I guarantee if I showed you the little WordPress tools, you'd say those are terrible. They should be better. They've made me millions of dollars. So, I mean, maybe that's a little money. I don't know, maybe. Depends on who you are. To Bill Gates, yeah, it's probably a little money. To me, it's fed my family, for what, 23 years. So you got to look at that and you got to understand it. Very, very, very important. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look and say, how does this work? Now, with the ChatGPT, the rewriter, okay, what I did is I gave it different content that actually helps it, right, like this. So I can go through and say, rewrite this content to be more human, and it'll go through and it'll rewrite it, right? Very cool. And we go through. Yeah, I'm not going to share that info with you. I mean, you can look at screenshots and things, but I mean, I don't know. If you don't like the streaming We Are Jolt, you could leave. You don't have to watch this. There's plenty of other people that will teach you what you want to know. This is for people who want to do this strategy. Okay, so we're going to look at this and we're going to be like, okay, now it's going to rewrite this so that it will help in a very simple way. Okay, so we'll go like this. And now we can use, let's say, we can use, what is it? AI content detector, right, like this. Okay, right here. Okay, and we'll go through and put this in here, right, like this. Right here. Okay? Now, AI content detected. Okay? So there you go. Pretty cool. Now, with AI content detected, we can go through and rewrite this using our GPT. Okay? This is something that right now, companies are making millions of dollars. I know people right now, as we do this, with tools that are making millions of dollars with this exact thing. So we're going to go like this, and it should bypass the AI content detection. Usually it does pretty good. So if you guys think that right here, this would be valuable, right? You guys are probably out there creating AI content and you're like, hey, I can't stand the copy leaks because it keeps telling me everything's AI and it's not working. What if I could rewrite it right like that, keep everything intact, and have human text right like this? How many of you guys are like, dude, are you kidding me? And that's free? And you're looking at it, and people that say, hey, you need robust tools to make this work, watch this, because these are so simple. There was a tool yesterday I was looking at that was pulling from the top 10 search results that literally made content based on that. And I'm like, wait a minute, that is so simple, it's so easy. And so we look at this and we're like, wait a minute, I am tapping into a market that works like crazy. So I could go out there, watch this, we'll go like this, and we'll do AI detector, okay? Right, like this. And we look at this and we're like, okay, AI detector, global volume of a million searches a month. A million searches a month. Why do these people want an AI detector? Why would they want it? Did they just wake up and be like, hey, I just want to see if the newspaper was written with AI? No, they are writing AI content and they want to make it human. And you guys just saw that my lowly, terrible, I don't know how to program, barely know how to make these things, just started the other day, actually works to bypass AI. Like, it did the job right there. And so we're looking at this and we're like, wait a minute, this absolutely works. If you would find value, like how many of you guys are like, dude, Marcus, where's your link to this? I want to use it, right? Type, I would use it in the box if you would use this bypasser, this human rewriter tool, AI content stealth, right? A lot of people, I was on a webinar yesterday and I was telling people about this and they're like, dude, we would pay for that. I'd pay for that. But imagine if I was able to give away 50,000, 100,000, right? Then I could go through and say, hey, I'm an affiliate of Content at Scale or some other thing, and bada boom, there we go. Very, very simple. How many of you guys are seeing the power of this and you're like, dude, this is crazy. I would totally use this. This would work. Now, what if I also had keyword tools or a different thing like that? And we can look at it and be like, well, what if I had maybe an extractor? All right, and I can create these super simple. But again, remember, perfection is the enemy of excellence. If you wait for these to be perfect, if you're trying to create something crazy, it's not going to work, right? Microsoft DOS was very simple when it came out. They evolved it over time. And we start to look at that, we're like, whoa, wait a minute. Trevor says, yes, that's been a sticking point for me, wasting time rewriting to make it human. And we just saw that right at the first pass, done deal. That's something that a lot of people don't know how to do. If we were to look at extractor, we could go through and say, okay, well, are there different extractors that would do, Excel, or maybe even let's do bulk Excel. Okay, bulk Excel. What do people want to do with bulk Excel? And they can go through and be like, oh, hey, check this out. We got how to delete blank rows in Excel. Okay, I could go through and I could say, because it does allow files, I can create a bulk Excel deleter or whatever. Very, very simple. Affiliate says, I'm not understanding, is it's ranking just due to the title, you name it. That's part of it, okay? You guys want to know the ranking secrets here? Right? So with the ranking secrets, what happens is this. And here's the deal. People are struggling, because I'm on the wrong camera. People are struggling because they don't know how to provide value, okay? Watch this. If you had value, so how many of you guys right now, let me know in the comments, if you're sitting there and you wanted to sell content at scale, AI tools, all kinds of content generators, how many of you guys think my little content rewriter AI content stealth would be valuable? Okay? Once I have this, now I can go through, I can promote in store. Okay, so I could promote this in store as my own GPT. That is going to give me a link on the ChatGPT website, OpenAI. Okay, and on its own, it might not know it exists. So what we would do is we would backlink this. Okay, what if you had a press release that said new free tool on ChatGPT helps you write more human content? Press release points to this. Do you not think that's going to rank? Do you not think a video showing how to use this is going to work? Because now once you've answered this question, game over, you win. And over the years, I've worked with thousands of people who have wanted to make money online, and the number one struggle they have is value. And then the second struggle is how to promote. Okay, I get two kinds of people. I get people who want to make money and they don't know what to do. And I say, well, we need to create something, whether it's give away a book, a PDF, whatever. Just yesterday or Monday it was, we created a video where I extracted keywords. I made a giant report on the different things that OpenAI ranks for via the store. So all the different tools. I gave it away. It's value. People are like, dude, that is something that's very valuable. It works. I like it. Right? This needs to attract people, not just be something that you think is valuable. If I think it's valuable and I use it, that's great if you want to sell it to one person. What we need to do is we need to make it broad and make it work. The second thing is the promotion tools. when it comes to promoting, we need to look at this and start to understand, okay, we need to think different. That's where this comes into play. Do you not think if I had 50 tools out there that were free, all driving 10 people a day to my website, I'd get sales? Of course I would. Very simple. And so we start to look at this and say, what we're going to do is we're going to build things up that are helpful. I'm going to give away first. And a lot of people, they ask me about my YouTube channel. They're like, Marcus, why do you give away so much information? Why do you teach us everything? Right? And a lot of people say, well, it's because it doesn't work. Well, no, I've been doing it 23 years. There's lots of people here that are live that have been doing this as well. The reason I give it away is because I know the more I give, the more people will want to work with me. So instead of going out there and saying, hey, let me, sell you this course or this thing or whatever, what I do is I come on here and I give you all the info. And people go, wait a minute, that dude knows his stuff. I want to work with him. And they will come find you if you give them stuff. So if you go out there and you're like, hey, I am going to make giveaways for whatever it is. Maybe I go through and it's like the ultimate workout thing. Create me meals for this, create me a fasting plan, create me that, create me this thing that writes X, Y, and Z, or a video script maker, or a thumbnail idea generator, or whatever it is. You can make these now super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Look at it and say, how are we going to use this in a very simple way? We do not need to go out there and do crazy stuff. All we need to do is something that works to get people in. If you do something quick and you make it work, it's going to go for a very simple way. B says, I'm researching these and how to create customized GPTs for my clients in various industries for my tech. But what he's saying is the base layer of this. Okay, let's see. OpenAI account. Yeah, that's all you need is OpenAI account. Now again, if you want to get into stuff later, go ahead. Over the years, when I first started teaching internet marketing, we started with a PDF book. Then I was like, well, let's print it. And then we made a DVD with it. Now it's a full-on software. But start small. Because if you try to start too big and you try to do too much, what's going to happen is you're going to be heavy on the side of investment. This is why people fail. They fail because they go in and they're like, hey, I got this idea. Let's throw money at it. And before they know it, they're out, $5,000 a month and they haven't made a sale. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, no, let's start simple. Let's start simple. Let's give it away. Let's prove the concept. Prove the concept, sell other stuff. So give away, sell other stuff. Okay? I did this myself. I went out there and I was promoting different AI content creators. I made money. I still made money. I just got a deposit this morning from them, right? I sell other AI content makers. As I went through, I found the things I didn't like about them, and I made my own content business. Is it perfect? Was it kind of like, hey, it was a mess in the beginning. It was a mess in the beginning. But the people who are here who have ordered content from us, now it's very good. Had I waited, I'd still be waiting. Because guess what? That business cost me $1,500 a week to have open. That doesn't even include my people here in the States that work on that business. That's just the outsourcers to get the stuff done. $1,500 a month. If you had $1,500 a month that you had to spend in the beginning, you wouldn't do this. There'd be no way to do it. And this shocks me all the time, where if you live in a community where businesses start and fail, you guys have seen it, right? You're like, hey, that store, it's like on Tommy Boy, hey, the muffler plant's gone too, right? And you look at it and it's like, hey, these guys are going out of business. We had an ice cream parlor here and they lasted about 2 years. Their ice cream was fantastic. And I was like, I wish they would have told me, because I would have helped them market, because I like their ice cream. But now they're out of business and it's like, wait a minute, why? Because they were too income heavy and they didn't focus on marketing. Marketing is what's going to get you sales. Having a good product is a given. You need to have a good product. You need to have a good thing. But even if it's not the most robust, crazy thing, you can give away something simple, prove the concept, build it later. As we went through, when I first started, right, it was, what did we have? We had like 2 outsourcers. It was, $300 a week or something like that. And so I'm a big believer of growing as you build and expanding, right? Understanding that if you get too heavy on the side of doing, oh, I'll start this way, I'll do this. The people say, oh, I need ClickFunnels. No, you don't. Get a website. Put a PayPal link on it. If people buy it, then go get your fancy software, right? My business is a 7-figure business, and we run it on WordPress. Now, there's some other custom tools in there as well, one of which is a very simple order form tool. But when we look at it, it's like, okay, we need to start bare bones. Too many people are looking at Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos now. What's your advice now? Well, his advice now isn't what's going to help you if you're starting out. He's so far removed from it, he probably doesn't really remember what it was like. I think some of them do, but for the most part, we need to look at what it's like in the trenches. The trenches are out here, where people are searching for things, and we can provide something for them. Whether it's something simple like a template generator or whatever it is, right? We can go through and make these, resume builder, a catchy blog post idea generator, right? I can go through and say, create a headline for video budget travel or something like that. And we start to look at it. And Phil says, trying to make things perfect has cost me tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. Very true. And if you took that and you spent that on the right marketing and market research, that's the key. The key is understanding what people are going to click on and what they're going to do. And people come to me all the time. They're like, Marcus, I spent 200 grand trying to start this business. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not really going to work, right? We need to do something in a very, very, very simple way, okay? And that is the key. Let's see, out of all the affiliate marketers out there, Marcus, I enjoy your videos. All right, thanks for that. And you're getting started, cool. And so when we look at this, we need to understand exactly how much it's going to work. Stella says, I lost so much money trying to use and learn ClickFunnels. And that's the thing, guys. What's happening, and they call it shiny object syndrome. All right, shiny object syndrome is you don't know what you're doing. That's what it is. You don't know what you're doing. You have not, that's why I say this solves your problem. Why does it solve your problem? Because now, we can get over here, you have something of value. That's it. Like, people sign up for ClickFunnels because they're like, oh, ClickFunnels, you know, Russell Brunson's great. He might be great. I don't know. He's got some good stuff, but it's a lot of software. It's a lot to learn. It's, you know, start something small. Let's do this. Hey, you want a business? Here's what you do, okay? Anyone can do this and make money. Disclaimer, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. While I have made hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on these concepts, most people make nothing. Most people will do nothing. Here's what you do. Here's your plan. All right, you're like, Marcus, I'm broke. I got an email from a guy yesterday. He's like, I'm broke. I can't buy anything. I don't know what to do. And he won't follow this instruction, guaranteed, because, you know, whoever listens, right? You're listening, so I appreciate you. Smash that like button if you're listening. Here is business in a box. Business. I don't have a spell checker on the whiteboard, and I was terrible at spelling. Here's your business, okay? You create AI content tools, okay? You go into your chat GPT. You're like, okay, here's one that's going to do headlines. Here's one that's going to do SEO. Here's one that's going to do plagiarism checker. Here's one that's going to do research. Here's one that's going to do rewriting, 2 R's, something like that, right? So you create all these tools. Then what you do is you say, by the way, if you want to get AI content written by me and my team, click here. Or if you want me to give you 100 AI content ideas that actually work, click here. And what you do is you sell the service. Okay, all you need is a PayPal. Or, if you want to do it even better, get yourself a Fiverr. Well, Marcus, I tried Fiverr and no one bought my stuff. That's because you didn't have this to give away. If you got 500 people a day coming in using your tools and you're like, go to my Fiverr if you like my stuff, buy some service, boom. How many of you guys are like, oh, that works? Or if you want to do an affiliate, here are the top 10 AI tools I use so that I don't have to spend hours doing this stuff. And it's so simple when you look at it and you say, this is the core of how business works. We start with something small. We make it work. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be crazy. It just needs to work. You need to do one thing really good. That's it. And you might look at it and you say, Marcus, it looks like you know how to do a lot of things. And there are quite a few things I know how to do. But there's very few things I'm actually good at. I'm terrible at content writing. I'm mediocre at speaking and being entertaining here on the camera. I'm not that good at SEO, though I have ranked and made millions with it. I am good at one thing and one thing alone. That's linking people that are looking something up to stuff that's going to put money in my pocket. That's the one thing I'm good at. That's the one skill that takes the cake. And if I look at that and say, well, had I waited to perfect that, I'd probably still be waiting. I'd probably be watching videos on how to make money still. And I look at it and I'm like, wait a minute, this is going to solve the problem. And if you want to make money with AI, you need to understand how and where value comes from. And we start to look at this and say, this is key. We Are Jolt says Fiverr is saturated. That's why I just told you that. You are not saturated if you drive people from your tools to Fiverr. This is what people don't get. They are doing what we call platform marketing, and Fiverr is not saturated, actually. It's just people don't know what they're doing, so it seems saturated. But when we look at this, okay, what they are doing is on platform hope. On platform hope. They put something on the platform, and they hope it's going to work. I put something on Fiverr, and no one cared. Yeah, you have to make them care. That's what marketing's all about. And we start to look at this and we're like, on platform instead of hope, I'm going to drive people off platform to the platform, which is going to boost it up in the rankings. It's going to show Fiverr that I sell stuff, and it's going to snowball. Marcus, I put a sticker up on Etsy like this person said, but nobody bought the sticker. Well, you need to get traffic of people who want it. If you go out there and you hope the people give you traffic, that's not a marketing plan. That's hoping. That's like, if you want that, go watch The Secret movie. Sit and sing Kumbaya, and when the universe manifests money to you, which I certainly hope that if the universe is manifesting things, it takes care of the people who have no food first. I don't know. I'm just saying, oh, universe, maybe take care of people who need it. I have the ability to learn and make money. I don't have any business manifesting. I'll go work for people who really need it. Hopefully the universe takes care of that. But when we look at it and we say, instead of hope and manifest and all this, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to make something that is value. Build a mailing list. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think would happen tomorrow if I put a Fiverr link up and I said, I'll do your SEO research? Oh, Marcus, you don't understand. If you go to Fiverr, it is so saturated. I would get sales overall, like overnight, right like that. Why? Because I have people to sell to. Very cool. And you start to look at that, and it's so specific. So specific. And when you get it, that's when everything starts to change. But it all hinges on value. How are we going to use these tools? Because there is an opportunity right here. Apparently, over here. It's over there. The camera just wants to follow me now. But over here, where we can make money in a very simple way. And we start to look at it and say, this is how it works. This is how it works. We Are Jolt says, do it. I wouldn't do it on Fiverr because they're going to take a percentage of the money. Their order forms are not great. And I'd probably do it somewhere else. But we did do the same thing when I started my content business. We actually had to shut it down because we got so many sales, we had to turn sales off. Why? Because I had that. It was a brand new website, brand new account, super simple. If you want to use Fiverr, you can, but I wouldn't for those reasons. And that's another thing, understanding why and where to use which platforms. A lot of people are like, Marcus, why don't you use a Patreon? Because Patreon takes a bunch of money, their order forms suck, and I can make more money in a different way, right? Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I do something else? So we start to look at that and understand. B says, choose your niches wisely. Are we still on? Something with the chat disconnected. Choose your niches wisely. Once you go viral and invest your time, then you'll be surprised how much they change. Very true. Got to be in this for the long haul. You have to really, really focus on what's going on. And when we utilize this and start to understand how it works, it's so, so simple. Right? So simple. We got to look at it. I want to see you do what you said you can do. I've been doing it for 23 years. There's 1,200 videos showing you that this stuff works here on the channel. If you don't want to go watch those, I can't really help you. I added a calculator with this method, then added it to my website. Would it give me backlinks with a good DR? Probably not, because the links that this gives you are not backlink links. They're just typed in text. So like this is not a backlink. Okay? Very, very simple. All right? Then you go through and you look at it and you make it work in a very easy way. When you start to understand exactly what's going on and how to do this, it's literally game over. We'll take some questions. I have a unique business domain name that ranks #1 on all the search engines. Haven't registered it yet, but haven't registered a unique business domain name that rank. Well, if you haven't registered it, then it doesn't rank. It doesn't really, unless it's like an expired one or something like that, right? Clear Vision says, I created some helpful GPTs. Excellent. 24 hours data, not sure what you're asking about there, but very simple when you start to realize, hey, this is something that absolutely works. But yeah, there you go. And just to show how this is, how many of you guys, if I had a Fiverr set up where I would go and do your SEO research, you'd buy it, right? Type buy it in the chat if you would, just to show the people that this would actually work. All I got to do is tell people to link. And that's what you need to understand, is it's about building something of value, and using these tools, we can build something in a very simple way, right? We go through and we're like, hey, I could build a GPT. Boom, boom, boom. Very, very simple. So when we go through, what we want to do is look at where the traffic already is, right? So if we have the traffic right here, there we go. See, people would buy it. So if I had a link, I would literally make money on Fiverr right now. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you free info like you came here for. All right, so we're going to go here and we're going to look at what this ranks for. And we're going to say, okay, what kind of tools are people wanting? Now, when we go through this list, remember, this is what's ranking now. Okay? So we're going to go through and look at what's ranking now. All right? So we got an AI checker, AI text. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pivot from that. Right? We're going to pivot from that, and we are going to say, okay, that's pretty cool. That works really, really well. And we start to understand, okay, what other things can I do? What we're going to do is we're going to use our keyword tool like this and do AI generator, right? And you can also do comp research. There was a tool that we had also that's going there, okay? And we're like, okay, cool. So we're going to go and use the tool. So on my blog, if you were to go here, all right, we're going to go over here, and we're going to look at GPT Store right here, this one. What I have here is a list of 50,000 things that this is ranking for, right? So you get this, it'll show you all the other stuff that you can use. So we'll do AI generator, take a look at what generators they want. Okay, so we'll do AI, let's see here, right, like this, AI art generator, image generator, voice generator. So there's all different kinds of things that we can use here that are going to work in a very, very simple way. And we start to understand, okay, now I go through and I look at what I want to create. Okay, maybe you'll do writing generator. Maybe you'll do a song generator or logo generator, right? Very, very simple. And we start to look at this and say, hey, here's another one. Let's do portrait generator or writing, or you could even do like AI, let's do rewrite, or let's do writer, right, like this. AI writer, and we go like this here, and we're like, okay, with our AI writer, okay, we got paper writer, essay writer, writer generator. We got Swift code. Okay, I think that's like some kind of bank thing. Essay writer, stealth writer AI. So I'll probably rank for that one, right? Really cool, right? Did AI write this? There's another one for, that would be a good name for a tool. Did AI write this? That could be a good one there. Paragraph checker, letter writer. We can do AI template or even prompts, right? Prompts work really well where you could do, okay, what kind of prompts are people looking up? Turn those into the tool. So instead of using the prompt, because here in my AI content business, we have a series of prompts a structure that we use. And it's very simple to where it's like, oh, hey, here's, part 1, here's part 2, here's part 3, here's part 4, and on we go. And we start to look at that and say, okay, check this out. Now I can bake that into a free tool, right? And we start to understand, okay, this free tool will work in a very simple way. I can do AI prompt or chat GPT prompt, right? Build stuff based on what people are searching for. Make it work in a very simple way. And we'll do like this. Vet says, make everyone think they need what you've created in a way that they can't believe that they went so long without it. Exactly. That's a wonderful way to put it. And when we look at that, I mean, there's tools here that people have said, hey, yeah, I would get that. I'd pay for it. I'd use it. Very simple. And we start to say, okay, maybe we can do a prompt for engineering, a cheat sheet, or let's see, prompt engineering jobs for marketing. So prompts for marketing. I could build one about prompts for marketing and make it work in a very simple way, right? And there we go, very simple. Prompts for business. We could do prompts for emails, ChatGPT prompt email, or even prompt email, or whatever it is, right? And we'll start to look at these, ChatGPT email prompts, cold email prompts. So that would be a good one for people doing outreach email, right? You could do template. Template is another word you can use to find what kind of templates people want. Very simple, very easy. Walt says suggestions for driving traffic would be much appreciated. Besides Facebook and news articles, finding it hard without paid ads, and money is tight. So what you would do, I don't know why you would do besides Facebook. I mean, there's business crowds where you could say, hey, test out my new tool or whatever, and you can get traffic really easy. You can do SEO. We can do all kinds of different things with that. But when we look at this and we're like, okay, maybe I can do like a slide generator or cover letter generator or PowerPoint or even like a webinar, right? I can make a webinar creating tool. And it's crazy. Or you could do, maybe you'll do like an Amazon product description maker. And like, when you think about this, it's like, okay, we're going out there and we're like, now we're tackling a market where I had some buddies years ago that got into the Amazon business market and they made hundreds of millions. I know they at least made 100 million, but probably more than that. I haven't talked to them in years. But if you were to have that, that's an intro. What we are looking for is simple tools that will be an intro to our market. We go through and we intro it. Now we saw that ChatGPT actually does rank, right? So there's a lot of rankings here that you will see, and they are getting free traffic from them. So when you start to look at like, okay, AI checker, right? These are getting rankings. If you do chat.openai.com/G, that is where all the tools reside, and you can put it in and say, oh, here's a detector. And I think, let's see, that ranks number 7. So ChatGPT detector, right? If you had a tool there, now you might not be able to get this keyword, but you could probably get something else. And he's actually, I think he's number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There it is there. He's actually outranking content at scale and copy leaks with a free ChatGPT tool. Right? We look at that, we're like, oh my gosh, that's insane. And so you start to look at that and say, I can get free traffic from this method. You just have to be very strategic about it. And that's what we talk about here on this channel, is how to be strategic, how to look at things and say, oh, I can use these, I can make it work. Rather than just guessing and hoping and all that, we go through and we're like, hey, this is pretty simple. And then, you make it work. You get the ranking, you build it out. Now, I'm a big fan of boosting things up once I have my tool. Like, imagine if I was to come here on YouTube and say, hey, I'm going to demo my tool, right? You could do, let's do bypass AI detection. Okay, a lot of people are looking for AI detection or whatever. And you could see here, 245,000 views, 148, 6,000. A little smaller there, but still, that's people that will use your tool. And you start to realize, hey, check this out. People are looking it up. And all I would need to do is make videos on, hey, here's my tool, here's how to work, here's where to get it. Right? Very, very simple. And we start to look at this and understand, hey, this is something that works in a very simple way. And all I need to do is take my niche and think differently. Instead of thinking, what kind of content do I make? We are now thinking, how do I do X, Y, and Z? How do I make this work in a very, very simple way? And think about like, okay, instead of giving them a cheat sheet on how to do the AI detection, maybe we'll do this, or maybe we'll do that. And it's very, very simple, okay? And we start to look at this and say, hey, this is something that works. So definitely go out there and create custom chat GPTs for your niche. I think it's a great way to work. I think that if you have a business, this should be part of the business, absolutely. It's a great way to get new customers, especially because what you're doing is you're tackling onto the hype and the buzz around ChatGPT and tools and things like that that will help you get really big, really quick if you do it correctly. Obviously, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed, but this is something that can work fast when used. Now, if you want the notes that we had along with the gigantic keyword list, check out downloadmynotes.com, and you can get those tools and everything like that. But definitely integrate this into your marketing and watch what happens. And keep an eye out for some other videos where we're going to talk about this, test different things out, and show you exactly what's working, why, and how you can use it in your business to start making more money, getting more customers, and driving tons of traffic. Thanks for being here. Smash the like button, and we'll see you in the next